Good evening. Snorkel MMA here, and welcome to my predictions for UFC 316 Sean O'Malley versus Merab Dvalishvili 2. See, this is actually a pretty good card. Like, a lot of people talking shit, but I think this is a pretty decent card. I'd probably give it like 6.57. Just I feel like there's a lot of interesting fights in the prelims, and the main co-main. I fuck with it. A lot of people don't like Sean O'Malley, but I'm like, he's not one of my top five, but I fuck with him. Okay, moving on to the first fight. MarQuel Mederos versus Mark Choinski. So MarQuel Mederos is coming as the minus 245 moderate favorite. This Choinski guy's making his UFC debut, but he is the Anthony Pettis FC. Anthony Pettis has his own fight org, and he's the lightweight champion in that with one defense. Mederos isn't a heavy favorite, but I think this is an extremely close fight, actually. Like, Mederos has only fought, the last season Ultimate Fighter guys, and they're, not really that good, and they're kind of oldish. And, he didn't even really look that dominant. Like, his last fight is against Hubbard. I thought he might have lost that. It was a split decision, and I thought he might have lost that. But still, I don't like picking guys that haven't made the UFC debut, and Mederos is still 2-0 in the UFC against vets. So, yeah, I'm going to go Mederos by decision, but, I could see this going either way, honestly. Okay, moving down to the second fight. Fucking Quillan Salkilld versus Yanal Ashmouz. Quillan's a Australian guy. I actually went to the Dricus du Plessis versus fucking Strickland 2 in Sydney, and he was on it, and he had that, he mogged Angel Jabli, the Lion, Khabib Nurmagomedov's greatest threat. So, that was an impressive win, and, I fuck with Salkilld. Obviously, he was the Eternal champ. I think he had a few Eternal defenses, which is like a MMA org in Australia. I don't really know why, because Salkilld actually is minus 485, so he's like heavy favorite. I don't really get why he's like the heavy favorite. This Ashmouz guy is pretty good. He's been in the UFC a long time, and he's beaten some pretty good guys. Like, he's only really lost to Chris Duncan in the UFC, and Chris Duncan's pretty fucking good. Salkilld does have a 7-inch reach advantage. Honestly, this is a very close fight as well, and considering Salkild's like the heavy favorite, it would be a good underdog pick to pick Ashmouz. But I'm not going to bet against an Aussie, bro. And also, I think Quillan's fucking could be a star if he gets a few wins going. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go Quillan just because he has more momentum and, But I think it will probably be a decision because Ashmouz has a good chin, never been knocked out. So I don't see Quillan knocking him out early or anything. I think it will go to decision. I think Quillan will get this shit. Okay, moving down to the third fight. Ju Sang-yu versus Jeka Saragih. I think this is the Mongolian guy, the Saragih. I'm going to go Ju Sang-yu, KO round 1. This kind of seems like a setup, because the Sang-yu guy's on like a tear in the Korean circuit, like lots of fucking knockouts, undefeated. And this Saragih guy, he lost to two people in the UFC that have had like a really hard time in the UFC, and Angel Jabli and Weston Wilson. Like, they're both like 1-3 in the UFC, and he got absolutely fucking destroyed by both of them. So, I think this is kind of a setup for a regional guy coming in and getting like an impressive knockout. Okay, moving down to Ariane Lipski versus Cong Wang. Cong Wang's coming in as a minus 500 heavy favorite. I think people are sleeping on Lipski. Not odds-wise, just like appearance-wise. Like, everyone talks about Cortez and stuff, but I think Lipski is pretty high tier on the Smoke Show tier list. But fight-wise, Lipski is 6-7 in the UFC. She's been in the UFC for a long-ass time. She's actually younger than Cong Wang, but she's on a 2-fight loss streak, and Cong Wang's probably younger in fighter years, because, I feel like kickboxing is much less straining on a fighter's, fighter years, because, it's not as three-dimensional as MMA, and Lipski has, a fucking 1 million MMA fights, I think that Cong Wang's going to get this by decision. I don't think she's going to be able to KO Lipski. She's gotten KO'd a few times, but it's usually not, knocked out in the feet, and then the ref stops. It's usually, they have to follow her down and, be on the ground for a bit and then finish her with ground and pound strikes. And I think Cong Wang shouldn't/won't follow her down if she drops her, just because, she's not as well rounded as an MMA fighter as Lipski. So Lipski could survive, reverse the position, either submit her or reverse submission and ground and pound, or just lay on top of her and lose her round. So I think that Cong Wang will drop her a few times, but she won't follow her down. She'll kind of just let her stand back up. And, I think she'll learn from the Gabriel Fernandez fight, Cong Wang will, and not go complete broke just trying to knock her out, and gas herself out, and then ends up getting fucked because she has no energy left. So I think this will be a point fight max type fight from Cong Wang, and she'll get the decision. Okay, moving down to Chaos Williams versus Andreas Gustafsson. Chaos Williams coming in as a -205 moderate favourite. Gustafsson's making his UFC debut after an impressive Contender Series fight. He's like if you like Vikings, you like this guy. He's kind of like a pagan, like really. I like his vibe. He's kind of like what's that Ultimate Fighter guy, Valentin, where they just like I'm doing this for the Norse gods, and they were like real like slang and bang. Although Valentin's not actually that much of a slang and banger, but this guy actually is Gustafsson. Having said that, I am going to go Williams by decision. Chaos has been around for a long-ass time. He's beat some legit guys. Like, he's got a positive, really good record on the UFC, especially against, like, canned / like, not really proven guys. And Gustafsson did look sloppy in his Contender Series fight. I feel like Chaos is a lot cleaner. I can also see Chaos knocking him out in round 1 or 2, but Gustafsson does seem to me like he's a bit of a blockhead, so I feel like he'll take a lot of damage and not get finished. So I think I'm going to go Chaos by decision. Okay, moving down. Serghei Spivac versus Waldo Cortes-Acosta. Spivac is coming in as a -140 only. I think I saw Weasel's video and he picked Acosta. I can't believe Spivac's only the -140. I think Spivac's fucking good, bro. Like, he beat Tybura Lewis, like, kind of ran through them. Whereas Cortez has looked like he doesn't even look that good against shit people. Like, he looked pretty shit against Greg Hardy. He beat Ryan Spann, but Ryan Spann's on like a massive fucking. He's got like the slide of decline, like a water park slide of decline. I think Spivac's way better than Cortes-Acosta. Cortes-Acosta's not going to be able to emote his way out of this one, and I think Spivac's going to get him down round 1, do a lot of damage to him. But I think Cortes-Acosta, he's all right. I think he'll be able to survive round 1, but then I think Spivac will get him down round 2 again and sub him. Sub round 2 for Spivac. Okay, moving down to Azamat Murzakanov versus Brendson Ribeiro. Murzakonov's a -550 heavy favorite. That's a pretty crazy line. I think Azamat Murzakanov is going to win. I think he's going to KO him round 2. But it's a pretty crazy -550. Ribeiro is pretty decent underdog pick here. Coming off 2 wins, he has a positive UFC win rate. Murzakanov is 36, which is at first I read I was like, ooh, what the fuck. But Ribeiro is 28. But also, Murzakanov is the type of guy where he fights like once a year, sometimes once every 2 years. So like fighter years, he's actually still quite young. And it's light heavyweight, so 36, even if he had a lot of fights, 36 isn't that old for light heavyweight, So yeah, I think, Murzakanov is a lot better than him, especially in striking. Ribeiro seems a little bit more well-rounded, but he looks like he has really shit wrestling. I don't think he's going to be able to get Murzakanov down. But he has good jiu-jitsu. But yeah, I feel like Murzakanov is way better on the feet, and I think he'll knock him out in round 2. Okay, moving down. This is a really good fight, prelim headliner. It's nice to see Joshua Van going up in the cards. I even saw him, like, he was in the Embedded episode. It's good to see, I've been riding with the Joshua Van, like, instead of hype train, like Van train. Yeah, so Van's coming as a -550 heavy favorite. Oh, that's also kind of a crazy betting line. If I wasn't a Van fan, this would be a good underdog pick. It's a scary fight for Van. Freaking Bruno Silva's pretty fucking good. He was on like a 4-fight win streak before he just got absolutely destroyed by Cap, embarrassingly like styled on by Cap. So I don't know why Van has to fight. This is actually going down in rankings. Silva's 15 and Van's 13, so I don't know why Van has to take this really tough fight to go down in rankings when he's coming off, hype and wins. It's kind of fucked. I hope he at least, because sometimes people will like beat people down in the rankings and they'll still go up, so hopefully he gets like top 10 off this, because this is a really good win if he gets this. And I think he will. Silva's 35 at flyweight. If he beat Cap, he probably would have got a title shot, and I think that he's going to all downhill from here. 35 is very old for a flyweight, I feel like. And I think Van's going to be too fast. Van's like 23 or something. Yeah, I think Van's going to be super fucking fast, especially rounds 1 and 2. I can see round 3 getting close when, Van's having a lot more output and he's slowing down to like Bruno Silva's speed, and 3 could be close. But I think Van will definitely run rounds 1 and 2 just by being way faster, and he'll get the unanimous decision. Okay, moving down to the first fight on the main card. Vicente Luque versus Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland's coming in as the -275 moderate favorite. It's nice to see Kevin Holland sticking around welterweight. I wish he'd stop going up to middleweight and wasting fucking time. Bro's running out of time. He obviously... I'm not even going to talk about the whole Quinton Rampage Jackson, Holland being a dickhead. Everyone knows about that. It's kind of boring to talk about. But yeah, I do like Holland He just needs to get his ego in check and just stick to welterweight and actually, you know, put effort into his fucking career. Yeah, I'm going to be picking Holland by KO round 2. I think Luque hasn't been the same since the brain bleed, especially in that Buckley performance where he kind of just folded after a little bit of damage. Yeah, and I feel like Luque's never really been a good wrestler. He has really good jiu-jitsu, but it's more like when he gets taken down, getting stuff off the bottom, or when he drops people and follows them down. So yeah, I think like round 1, it'll be close, and round 2, Kevin Holland might land a few good shots, and then I think Luque's just going to fold, honestly. I think it's going to be KO round 2. Yeah, Luque did say at the press conference, though, he's coming in looking for a war. So maybe he's gotten over the brain bleed. If he can survive taking a few good shots and really be in the pocket, this could be a really fucking good fight. This could be a really cool stand-up fight. Like, if it goes all 3 rounds, gets like to decision, or someone finishes someone in the 3rd round, and like they're both like taking shots and actually like absorbing them. This could be a really fucking good fight. But I don't know. I just feel like Luque is going to get dropped here, unfortunately. Okay, moving down to Mario Bautista versus Patchy Mix. Patchy Mix is coming as the -175 slight favorite here. Yeah, that's fair. This is a really close fight, honestly. It would be cool to see Patchy Mix beat Bautista here. Because, you know, Patchy Mix versus O'Malley, if O'Malley wins, would be fucking huge. Or even if O'Malley loses and then Patchy Mix just fights O'Malley, just so O'Malley gets like a win, and then maybe O'Malley gets a fucking 3rd title shot if he loses or something. But yeah, him versus O'Malley would be really cool. But yeah, I feel like they're both very well-rounded, but I think that Bautista's a little bit better on the feet. And I think Bautista has really good takedown defense. Whereas I think Patchy's going to be... His way to victory is going to be taking Bautista down and finishing with a submission. Whereas Bautista can kind of win decision, or he could win on the feet by knocking him out. Like, I feel like Bautista has way more ways to win. I feel like, yeah, Patchy Mix is not going to be able to take him down. And he's not going to be able to use his advantages as a better grappler. And I think Bautista is actually going to derail the high train here, unfortunately. I think it's going to be a decision. Maybe even a close, like, split decision. But yeah, I think Batista's going to do more damage on the feet and just going to be able to stop the takedowns. Maybe he'll even push him against the cage and Batista special him for a little bit. But I don't see him like holding him there like he did Aldo. I feel like Patchy Mix will take chances because he doesn't give a fuck if he gets taken down. He kind of wants to get taken down. So I feel like Batista might hold him against the cage, but maybe just like 30 seconds max just to get a little bit of control time. And then Batista will push off himself. Yeah, I feel like he's going to point fight beat Patchy Mix here just by keeping it on the feet. Okay, moving down to Kelvin Gastelum versus Joey Pyfer. Pyfer coming in as a -400 favorite. I'm actually going to be picking the underdog here in Gastelum, bro. I'm telling you. Gastelum by decision, I think. I feel like if this gets out of round 1, Gastelum's going to win round 2 and 3 by like split decision. The second round will be highly contested. But I think 2 of the judges will give it to Gastelum. I just think that Kelvin Gastelum's never been KO'd. And also, he's a really, he's a good fighter, bro. He only ever loses to elite guys like, Izzy Whitaker. The elite of the elite. What the fuck? It just got so dark. Okay, whatever. Yeah, he only ever loses to the elite of the elite, and I don't think he's built like that, bro. I feel like he relies on his power so much that he's always going into the fight thinking, yeah, I'm going to knock this guy out, so his technique is a little bit sloppy. I mean, Gastelum's not a fucking technician on the feet, but I think he's a little bit better than Pyfer, and I think Gastelum has a really good, like, blockhead fat guy chin, and he won't get knocked out in round 1. I think I might get dropped round 1. Joe Pyfer will follow him down, and then Gastelum might just like hold him and just like survive round 1. And then rounds 2 and 3, I think Gastelum will take it just by being grittier, just by being in the pocket, Pyfer's slowing down, gas tank issues, he was sick like 2 months ago, whatever. Yeah. And Gastelum's, I think Pyfer's salty as fuck and he's overconfident in his power, and he relies on it too much that his technique suffers. Also, why is it so dark in here now? It was actually bright as before. I'm going to have to fucking put a light on. Yeah. So I'm going to go Gastelum by decision here, picking the underdog. And now I'm like fucking super bright. Whatever. Moving down to the co-main event arena. Julian Pena versus Kayla Harrison. Kayla Harrison coming in as a -625 huge favorite. Again, I feel like this is a close fight and this betting line's kind of crazy. People are sleeping on Pena a little bit here. I could see her winning. If she can survive like round 1 and 2, I could see her dropping rounds 1 and 2 and then winning rounds 3, 4, and 5. Do I think that's going to happen? No. I think Harrison will be able to finish her in round 1 or 2. I'm leaning round 2 because I think Pena does have grit. I feel like she's pretty good defensively on the ground. I feel like she's going to get swept and taken down instantly round 1. Just like pushed back against the cage and then swept. And yeah, I think Harrison is going to win this sub round too, but I could honestly see Pena winning this. 625 is crazy. It's a good underdog pick. Yeah, I could see her coming back after getting mogged round 1 and 2, and then Harrison's gassing and she just wins rounds 3, 4, and 5. And also, I could see that happening. Like, she wins rounds 3, 4, and 5, but then she gets, like, split decision robbed. Like, they give Harrison round 3 because she had, like, a little bit of offense or something. Just because I feel like they really want this Harrison-Nunes fight. So I could see Pena actually winning this, but then getting robbed, which would be ironic because, I don't know, a lot of people say that she lost that Raquel Pennington fight where when she won the title. I honestly thought it was fucking close as shit. I think I kind of gave the edge to Pena. I thought she did win. But, yeah, it would be funny if she gets robbed because they just want to get the Nunes-Harrison fight. They do definitely really want that Harrison-Nunes fight because Nunes was even on, like, a press conference thing today, like, hyping up 316. She was on, like, one of those things where retired fighters and shit, or, like, your correspondent, not retired fighters, just fighters get interviewed when they're not even fighting. She was on one of those, and she rarely does that, so they really want this Nunes-Harrison fight. Yeah. I think that Harrison's going to get the sub round 2, or Pena's going to get robbed from... Yeah. I'm turning the lights off. I don't like it, bro. I like this better than looking like super white. Moving down to the main event. Let's fucking go. If you are what you... Hey, Merab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley II. Merab Dvalishvili is coming as a minus 300. I think this line might have switched because I looked at all these stats up yesterday. So I think this might have swapped. I think that it's closer now. And I'm going to be going... Oh my god, it's fucking dark. Alexa, lights on.
Okay.
Bro, whatever. I'm just going to leave. Yeah, I'm going to go Sugar Sean by decision. Oh, it's going to be a long explanation, but fucking hell. Okay, so this fight could obviously go the exact same as the first one. Where Merab just takes him down 3 out of the 5 rounds or 4 out of the 5 rounds and controls him and just wins like that. Just through pressure, pushing him back, getting a few, like, really untechnical shots off and taking him down and controlling him. Or what I think is going to happen is Sean's going to be looking for the KO shot less here, and he's going to be a bit more of a point fighter. Teeps, jabs to the head, jabs to the body, knees up the middle, circling, like putting way more priority on footwork and not getting backed up. And yeah, just like point fighting more and looking for the KO shot less. Like, he'll just wait for the KO shot to appear if it does, but he's going to not go into the fight like, I need to KO him here. He's going to go in like, I can win this by decision. I can bank these rounds. Which I think is what he was missing last time. I think he just really thought he was going to KO him and he wasn't focused enough on being a technical fighter and getting points and winning the rounds. So I feel like he's learned a lot from that. And he's really going to prioritize getting smart damage off, so even if he does get taken down, he would have won the round before he gets taken down, or he can get back up and do some damage. I think he's really going to be trying to bank the rounds, and I think he's going to bank at least 3 out of the 5 rounds. I think it's going to be like a split decision, very close split decision, but O'Malley's going to get it this time. I think he's going to clearly win. It's not going to be controversial like the PDR fight. I think he's going to definitely win 3 out of the 5 rounds. I don't see him winning like 4 or 5 rounds. I don't think he's going to completely mug him. I think it's going to be extremely close. But I think he's going to do enough damage before getting taken down, or when he gets taken down, he's going to be able to get back up and then get some damage off and squeak out the rounds. Yeah, I think it's going to be not like a typical Sean O'Malley fight where he's like hunting around, like, just counter-striking. Like, he's actually going to be pushing Merab back a little bit with straight shots up the middle and shit. And then he's going to, he's going to save his like left hook, right hook, his right hand, his power hand, for when Merab does something, He's not just going to be just like throwing it out there, He's going to be straight shot maxing, footwork maxing, circling, really smart fighting, I think. And he's going to win 3 out of the 5 rounds. Yeah, I don't think he can knock Merab out unless Merab actually makes a mistake. I could see actually Sean's like 2 rounds up, and then Merab's corner's like, fuck, we've really got to start making these rounds, we're 2 down. And then Merab does some stupid shit, and then O'Malley lands like a pull right hand like he did against Alger. Like I could see him land the exact same shot. Or like even Merab goes for like a really sloppy overhand, and then he just like slip like left hands. I could see Merab dropping 2 rounds, and then he comes out in the 3rd, and he just starts throwing caution to the wind and starts doing retarded shit, and then O'Malley knocks him out. But I do think what I said before is going to happen, where Sugar's going to be fighting way more smart, and is just going to bank rounds and get the decision win here. Okay, guys, that's all from me. This card was getting a lot of hate. people saying that like Sean O'Malley didn't deserve the title shot, but I'm excited for this fight. I think this is a good card. I'm fucking with it. And I think Sandhagen should get the winner of this. I honestly think Sandhagen should have fought Merab and O'Malley should have fought Yan in a perfect world, but that's like the only guy I think. I only think that Sandhagen is the only guy that actually deserved the title shot over O'Malley. So it's not like a Stipe Jones level thing, bro. Like, honestly, like, O'Malley, he had a defense. A lot of champions get a fucking immediate rematch off one defense. People would just hate Sean O'Malley, so they're dragging it. But yeah, I think Sandhagen should have got the shot, and then O'Malley should have fought Yan. That would have been like the perfect scenario, but this is like the second perfect scenario. And for UFC, getting the second perfect scenario is good enough for me, honestly. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.